What about the monkey?
It's an old Carnival game.
Is that for sale?
We'll pay you $300. We win, it's $250.
We want to go home with that piece.
Give me 35.
25 bucks. That's it.
I thought this supposed to auctioning thing goes up and not down. They're gonna be fair, and if they're not, I'll pull their ears.
On with the bidding, ladies and gentlemen.
Got this sort of sick feeling. This auction has everything I collected over the last 30 to 40 years.
Somebody say 2,000 and start it. Good luck in your bid. Somebody say $300 on Nipper. 200.
Just don't know how it's gonna go. I'm Scott Cozens,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're pickers.
See that fork in the road? Take it. We travel all over Canada.
Looking for hidden gems in basements, attics, and barns. For me, it's all about the thrill of the hunt. Oh man, we might have hit the mother lode here. I like to move fast. I can always find something we can make a profit on.
I thought I'd seen it all, Scott. I'm looking for that one-of-a-kind item that has its own story to tell. Just like the people we meet, every story is different. It's not junk to us. You know, Scott, I love being on the road. I love this country, but there's nothing better than getting home and picking in Alberta on our home turf.
But the only problem is being home is I gotta do something about Nash and Nico. It is getting so tense in that little room. They're both getting a little older. They both need their own space. And I think I'm gonna have to clear out my room downstairs.
You gotta be joking. You'd sell your collection?
I just don't see any way around it. I got a space problem.
You got a story behind each and every item. That's your life.
I don't have enough rooms in my house. I've got 3 kids, each of which need their own room.
Boy, that's a big decision you gotta make. There's a place that I've driven by, an office building. It looks like there's some antiques and collectibles.
In Calgary?
Yep, phoned the guy up. He said drop in. So I have no idea what we're gonna see other than the few things I spotted from outside. Hey, look at this place.
Wow. Total surprise. Didn't expect to see that kind of stuff in there at all. There's a bunch of different things, new stuff mixed in with old stuff, mixed in with repaints, but overall it's got a real good look to it.
Hey.
Hey, welcome.
Hi, I'm Sheldon.
Sheldon.
Steve, Scott.
Scott, nice to meet you both. Welcome to CIP.
This is fun.
Yeah, how is it one guy has so many things in his office?
I'm a guy that can't say no. It's a family-owned business, and I started it 32 years ago. We sell business machines, we sell software, copiers, and that sort of thing.
I was expecting the few things in the window, not to come in and see a ton of good stuff. Phone booth from the road really stands out. It's a big red English phone booth. We see the occasional one, but none in a condition like that.
Yeah, that's an original phone booth from King George. It's built in the 30s, I think.
Good old English one.
I just had it restored this year, so finally made it to prime time.
Oh, so that's not going anywhere. The lesson people should learn is if you're gonna redo something, assume you're gonna live with it forever because you'll likely never get your money out of it.
It looks like $1 million, and that's what it would take to buy it because it's not for sale today.
What's with the barber chairs?
This came out of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan.
Did it really?
Underground
Really?
barber shop. There's an underground labyrinth under the city of Moose Jaw. Very infamous for Al Capone and his people running liquor into Canada. Al Capone could well have gotten his hair cut there.
We see hundreds of barber chairs, but now that you've told me that, I'm interested in this one.
It's kind of special.
Yeah. I guess it's not for sale?
I would consider selling it, although it's a pretty special chair.
We don't usually buy barber's chairs, but that's a barber chair we'd like to own. How special?
It's an...
with an S and a line through it, special.
Yes. It's probably in the neighborhood of 2,500 to 3,000.
And that's a pretty nice neighborhood.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a...
You see, you can tell that the price has changed since I last got my hair cut.
Well, yeah.
Not for sale. How about your little candy store cash register?
10, 20, 30, 40, all the way up. 90, $1, and then no sale. Huh,
Yeah.
Nice, and it's working.
What do you guys think the value of this?
If that was original, you'd get 12 for it. But with the repro on there, probably 1,000. So, I mean, we'd probably go, what, 6?
Yeah, 6 would.
That would be the most we could do to let us make some quick bucks on it and move it on.
We'll think about that while we take a little walk. Do you think?
That means no.
No.
Steve has a lot of really good things in his office, but it seems like nothing is for sale.
What about the pedal cars?
The one on your right is a British pedal cards, all original. This Cadillac has been restored.
One of them's an Old English Triang, the other one's an American Gendron Cadillac. So this is a nice little guy. I mean,
The Cadillac?
it would have been nicer in original Nick. They made it look a little bit like a Cadillac, but not enough that they'd get sued, because it isn't authorized.
Right.
So what would you need out of that one? Totally redone, but the problem is, for our clientele, they'd rather have rough original than redone.
I would probably let that go for $500 to $600.
At 500 bucks, I'm out.
You're too big for a Cadillac anyhow.
I prefer a Continental.
I'm sensing things here are kind of near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, we're a little more particular, I'd say, of what we bring down here because it's within our business sort of environment.
The bad news is there's not a lot here for sale, not a lot here for Scott and I to buy.
Most of my collection is out on my acreage in Okotoks. I built a service station out there with a diner in it and an arcade in it.
That's normally where a guy keeps his best stuff, at home. I'm gonna ask you about one other thing, the Red Crown gasoline sign. I look over and there's a really nice, original condition, honest Red Crown gasoline sign.
Now that's in original condition.
Yeah, it's original.
It's probably part of a lollipop sign. Is it double-sided?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's obviously the best side.
It's a dealer sign, would have hung up at a gas station. The other side's likely going to be substantially worse than the front side. So the best side's about a 6.5 out of 10. The other side's probably about a 4.
4 or 5, sure.
Is this going to break your heart to sell this thing?
I don't think it would break my heart.
Okay, is it going to break our wallets for you to sell this thing?
Well,
That's
now,
another story, isn't it?
500 bucks?
Sure.
500 bucks.
All right.
That was a great buy for us.
I love your roulette table.
That's an original.
Does that ever run smooth?
Yeah, it's a really nice piece.
It is a beauty. It's a proper commercial roulette wheel, probably out of a casino. It's just a delicately balanced item. Gotta own that if we can.
What is the right price on one of these? I have to say I don't know.
I'm not sure that I know the wholesale price on it. I kind of know what I paid for it.
Where did you find it, Steve?
I bought it at an auction in Vegas.
So you overpaid.
I overpaid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't suppose you'd consider $1,500.
No, I don't think I could let it go for $1,500, but you know, I'd certainly work with you on it.
Is there a way we could come up with a slight wager? Say you choose a color and we're at 2, and I choose a color and we're at 18.
That's possible. I don't know whether the 2 and the 18 are the correct numbers, but I think you're getting warm. I would consider 21 and 19.
I don't know much about roulette wheels, so I'm leaving this one up to Sheldon.
I don't know if there's enough in it for us to gamble on.
Take a run at it. But I say to Sheldon, give her a whirl. Let's have a bet. If we win, it's 19. If we lose, it's 2,100.
I'm gonna spin. You're gonna choose red or black.
Okay.
Here we go.
So I'll choose red. Do you want me to choose? Or do you want to choose?
No.
You're welcome to.
Red you are.
All right.
That little white ball starts to spin on the roulette wheel and they go round and round. Steve calls red. And sure enough,
Yes, you got us.
cost us 200 bucks.
Yes.
21 it
It's
is.
okay.
We're not gonna make a lot, but I wouldn't sell that for less than 2,500.
The Red Crown gasoline sign. Good, honest wear on it. But 500 bucks, we can make money on that, and it's a really good-looking sign. Quite a place.
Fantastic.
Well, thank you very much.
I don't think I could do business here, though, because I'd be just wandering around
Yeah,
looking.
it's a great environment. Our employees all seem to enjoy coming in.
We dropped the hint to Steve we'd love to come and see his stuff at Okotoks. He wasn't biting.
I can understand that because we just dropped into the office. It's a work day. He's got things to do.
Thanks, Steve. See
Bye-bye
ya. Hey, have you ever seen a guy decorate his office like that?
Me. You can just see the happiness on his face.
Yeah.
He just loves coming to work every day. Sheldon, I'm going to give Lana a call.
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
World War III as usual. Oh, mostly Nash and Nico. I can't stand it anymore.
What do you think about clear my stuff out of the basement and maybe we just send a bunch of it to auction?
Are you gonna cry like a baby?
I probably will, but okay, well, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
I can't believe you would even think about selling your collection.
I just got to make space quick.
Well, Scott, this should be interesting. We're going to see Larry out near Thorsby, just west of Leduc here.
I've never been to Thorsby.
I've never been to Thorsby. Larry's been putting together a museum for years. He apparently has lots of buildings and lots of stuff. Think he's just been accumulating for 30 years?
Not a seller?
Never sold before, as far as I know.
Well, could be good then.
All right, we should be looking for Larry's place. And he's quite patriotic. He's gonna have a flag or two outside.
Yeah, I can see a flag from here. There's a Canadian flag blowing right now. We pull up to the place and there's a nice old house on the left-hand side, and to the right it looks like there's a little town that's being built.
Hey.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good, how are you? You'd be Larry.
I'd be Larry.
I'm Sheldon.
Hi, Sheldon.
That's Scott.
Larry, Scott, how are you?
Pretty good, thanks. Pretty good.
So what's going on over here?
Well, this is basically our museum. Everything on that side we put together as a kind of a hands-on working museum. Just wanted something for people to come and have a look and try and preserve some of the history of this area.
And when you say a museum, who comes out and takes a look at it?
Well, I think the novelty has wore off. All the local people have seen it.
Where are you finding all this stuff, Larry?
Well, I've been working for auction companies for probably 30-some years as a ringman. We sell all this stuff, not just the good stuff out of the boxes and the rest stays on the hay rack. You get rid of it all. That's what a ringman's basic job is.
So are you going to be okay if we pick and choose a few things?
I think that there's stuff in here that you probably I can let go.
The good news is Larry's a motivated seller.
I think they're going to be fair, and if they're not, I'll pull their ears.
Well, give us a tour.
Okay, let's go, guys. We can start in here.
There's some pretty good looking stuff in here.
Oh, there's a little menagerie of everything.
Hey, that's what my father used to smoke, a pipe just like that.
Sheldon and I both have soft spots for pipes. There's a couple that catch my eye. One's a nice little corncob pipe with an Indian motif on it. The other's just a nice little corncob pipe.
Somebody did a lot of work building the
There
boxes.
you go.
Smoking is one of those categories of things that is becoming more rare and a little more collectible.
Just out of curiosity, if you were going to move those two, what would you want for those?
I'll tell you what, for the work that's in there, you give me 20 bucks.
Well, I'll take that case for 20 because it's got one with an
Well,
Indian on
hey,
it.
it's an auction sale. We'll take all four times the bidding price.
There you go. there you go. There
okay.
I think that's a good place for the day to get started. So what's the next building, Larry?
Oh, this is a little old house here. We call it just a little old ranch house.
Little old ranch house.
It's very comfortable in here. A little bit warmer.
What's this one, Larry?
New Baker, model 1899. Outside hammers on the thing.
It's a relic, an old double-barrel gun with flintlocks. Nobody's ever gonna hunt with that gun again, but it looks good up on the wall or up above a fireplace.
Yeah, it's just a wall hanger.
That's what she is, yep.
What do you want for a wall hanger?
Well, I'll tell you what. You give me $75 and you can hang it on your wall.
It's just a little too much. It eats into our profit.
I think it's
75.
$50, but
To me, it looks, I agree.
$50 gun.
If you give me 50 bucks, you can have her.
Good. That's a good buy, and we can sell that gun for $100, no problem.
This
Okay.
little McCormick Deering, it looks like a cooler. Just at the front of the shop, Larry's got a nice little ice water tank. It says McCormick Deering on it.
It's actually got a little spigot on the bottom. They got a good eye. They see the things that the average person might not see.
Did you make that holder?
I made the holder, yeah, I did.
You're a handy guy to have around, Larry.
Okay, ice water tanks are rare. Ice water tanks with a tractor company's logo on them are really rare. What would you want for that?
With the stand.
Yeah, the stand's got to go with it.
Okay, there we'll start another $75 item. Because I think those trucks, there's not many of those things in captivity.
You know what? I'd love to grind you on it, but I just don't think I can.
Okay.
We settled at $75 for the jug and the rack that Larry built for it.
What about in there?
Oh, there's some more goodies in there. I got a bear rug hanging in here and a few odds and ends, a doctor's case over there.
You know, it's got a good look for the decorators. I mean, it's not in terrible shape. The bottom's at least not fallen out of it.
You give me 50 bucks and you can have it.
See, I think we sell it for 50.
You're gonna sell it for 50.
Yeah, because it doesn't have any tools in it.
Give me 35.
25 bucks.
25.
That's it.
I thought this supposed auctioning thing goes up and not down, but I'll tell you what, $25 you can have
Okay,
it.
I think we can do okay on that.
The next building is Larry's little blacksmith shop. He's got a forge and all kinds of metal works, all farriers things.
It's got a little anvil there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my dad's anvil. It's a good
Yeah.
paperweight, that's for sure.
What's a paperweight gonna cost us?
Let's see, it weighs, how much does it weigh?
I'd say, what, 40, 50 pounds?
There, at 50 cents a pound, you got at least 20 bucks in it.
Done. Not gonna argue for that.
No, it's not the best in the world, but it's 20 bucks. That's a good buy. This would be an interesting little tour to see agriculture in Western Canada. Scott and I, though, aren't here for a museum tour.
He wants to sell us some stuff, and he's keeping the prices where we can afford to buy it and turn it over at a profit.
I noticed you got a little tabletop cream separator.
Yeah, we do so.
Another item that's, I think, desirable is a cream separator, little tabletop model. We sometimes pass up the big ones, but the little ones have become more desirable lately because people want to have unpasteurized milk.
We pour the milk in, then you wind her up.
And it's the speed?
It's a speed, it's a centrifuge, and that's what it is.
I've never seen a cream separator work before. Amazing how much time that saved somebody 100 years ago.
She's winding up, you can hear it rattling underneath there. So if we take this thing apart, you can see that thing just a-pedaling underneath.
And you
Oh,
barely
yeah.
turned it, and it's just flying.
Would you part with this one?
This is gonna cost you guys $75.
I was thinking more along the lines of maybe 50 bucks.
60.
60 it is.
Okay.
For 60 bucks, we'll make easily 125 on that. Where's the general store?
The general store is around the corner and upstairs, unless you want to go through the hole in the wall.
Whatever you suggest.
This is the old-fashioned way going up. Take it easy, guys. The stairway is straight up.
Hey, Scott.
There's a little bit of everything. Really good for the uneducated, to teach them about history, to teach them about collectibles.
You got a little bit of a gramophone here.
So I think if we get her cranked up, she probably could even make us a little bit of noise. What's wrong with it is that little plastic in here, or that little pickup, the sound pickup part of it, is cracked.
When they built these little RCA units, they didn't plan on them being 30 below.
No, probably not.
We'd give you 30 bucks for it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Done.
here's the deal.
30 bucks.
There you go.
Good.
There you go.
Okay.
Can we look around a little bit?
Sure.
Maybe put a pile together?
Sure, you can put yourself a pile together.
We're gonna break for a few minutes, find some individual items, put them together, and see if we can buy them as a bundle.
Getting the cream of the crop here. They're the first guys been through. Never sold anything out of here. I hope they feel good about the fact that they got stuff that hasn't been picked over before.
There's enough ephemera. That's manuals for tractors, manuals for cars, books, comics, that kind of thing. Throw them in a pile. And the thing with bundling is, you may as well throw in anything that you think you might like. You're not gonna pay any more for the bundle with or without those items. So we're just loading her up and seeing what we can do for a price.
There's some good small things. I found a good brass compass.
Oh, that axe is cool.
There's a couple of telephones. There's the post office boxes.
This thing's sweet.
As it turns out, as a package, that's a pretty good bundle of stuff.
These are really cool, these books.
Well, I'm thinking that the pile is growing, and I hope their dollars are growing.
As we're digging around, my phone goes off, and I look at it, and I don't recognize the number. Hello?
Hello, is this Scott?
It is.
This is Steve Goodwin calling from Calgary.
We saw Steve yesterday at his shop. He invited us to come out to his place in the country. He wants to sell us some stuff. Could probably get down there tomorrow.
Perfect, look forward to it.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
I think this is a good opportunity to see Steve's barn out in the country.
That could be good. He had great stuff in his office.
Yeah, and he said he had more stuff out in the country, so
Let's get this little package deal done up and
head south.
Oh, you guys got yourself quite a pile in here.
It's a
Holy boy, I'm liking this all the time.
So we got 2 phones, tobacco cutter, little cock shot, and a watch. We got this pretty good old railway lantern.
got a bit of paper here, a couple of ammunition boxes, and a piece of a CNR lamp. All the little bits that by themselves aren't worth much, but if we put them all together, we maybe make a couple $100 off the bundle.
So what are you thinking here, Larry?
Oh, I'm thinking in about that, about $100.
I'm thinking 150.
See, I like the way you think.
All
I
right.
like the way you think.
150 is a fair price. Larry was just delighted. I think we've probably done some damage here today. We left you with a few things.
Oh, I got a little bit left here. I love how things like this come together.
She's just a wall hanger, but nobody's gonna mess with us on the way home. That's a good buy, and we can sell that gun for $100, no problem. This one's gonna sell really easily.
It's a nice little tabletop.
People use them for planters, but I hope somebody buys it to actually separate cream. Hey, you look like you're leaving town.
Yeah, I'd like to leave town right now. But you know what? Clean that up and it's a nice little piece. We essentially bought stock. It's gonna help pay all the expenses. We're gonna make a few bucks on the way.
Larry, it's been a pleasure. Yeah?
Thanks for coming, you guys. Be safe.
You come see us if you're in Calgary.
I'll do that. That's a long ways from home, boy. I think this is going to be the highlight of my collecting career and my retirement.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Larry's a great guy, isn't he? I like the whole idea that kids can come out there and put their hands on things.
He's an interesting guy.
You know what? I think the clock has struck 12. We're gonna have an auction sale. I can't believe I just said that. We're gonna have an auction sale.
I'm a firm believer that you should be selling by auction.
I'm gonna have to come to grips with the fact that I'm just gonna have to let it go at whatever the price is. I'm gonna have to draw you into service here.
I'll be there for you. Steve's got way more stuff out here in the country than he had at his office, and he said a lot of it hasn't been touched, and I think that's way better for us.
If what he had in his shop's any indication as to what he's got out here, we could do well today. We had a little trouble finding the place this morning. I think we're on the wrong road. You were looking at the map in the wrong direction. That's north. Sheldon fancies himself sort of a connoisseur of this area of Alberta.
These rural roads are really a maze out here, aren't they?
Steve told him where he lived. Now you know why I should drive.
Got nothing to do with driving, it's direction.
Sheldon figured he knew where he lived. Wait, stop. 326030, right here. And after about 3 or 4 circles around his house, we actually made it in the front door.
You found the place, okay.
We did. How are you?
Nice, good to see you
Good
again.
to see you.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks
Come
for
on
having
in.
us out.
Whoa!
Nice, good to see you again.
Now this is nice.
Warm up and maybe have a coffee or something?
When I see the coffee, donuts all spread out in a little additive, he's setting us up. He's gonna take us to the cleaners if he can. I don't think I'd ever go to work if I had this place.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the things you had at work were window dressing compared to this. This is the mother load, I'd say.
I spend a lot of time actually out here.
Steve's big warehouse area is sort of like his office. There's original things mixed in with redos, mixed in with repros. We're looking for the things that are the diamonds in the rough. They're the real things in the midst of the repros or the repaints. Well, cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks for coming. Good to see you guys again.
And you're eclectic here, just like you're eclectic at the office. You got a
Yes.
little bit of everything.
True. I collect things that I like to look at.
We like Steve, and we just want to see if we can get a few things off him today. Oh, wow, look at that, Shell. You just don't see these things up in Canada. You must have hauled this back from the States, did you?
You're right. I found that in Vegas.
You're like us. You like good gaming machines.
I love gaming machines.
Nice brass on the top, original. Everything looks original.
And what were you
Everything is
dropping?
original.
Were you dropping a nickel or a quarter into that?
Too big for a quarter.
Oh,
it's a
so it is a nickel
It's a
machine.
It's a nickel machine.
Yeah.
So how much do you need for this old slot machine?
Oh. If I were to sell that, I would probably look for around $600 for it.
Gee, that's not bad.
You're not far off where we would go.
Would you consider 5?
I would consider it.
Would you consider 5 and accept 550?
That might work.
I just raised myself.
And it was a very smart decision on your part, by the way.
Hey, I'm really happy.
That is fabulous.
Yeah.
I don't even care if it works. It just looks so good.
I got some more stuff here. I think that's just getting to be the last of it.
I'm finally starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel. This is awesome. But looking here, we have over 300 lots in, what, 4 or 5 hours to do it in?
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
So we got to keep it moving and keep the interest.
This auction's a really big deal for Scott. He's got a lot riding on this auction. It's his collection. I think it was really hard for him to part with it, and he's got a lot of money invested in it, and he'd like to get a good dollar out of it.
Probably be bittersweet.
Yeah,
We've had
but-
this stuff for a long time, and then to see it go away.
I think once he has the money, he'll be really happy, and then he can go out and buy more stuff like he always does.
Yeah. If we don't get the crowd there, I am not going to be happy to see what Scott will say. He's going to be upset already, letting go of his collection, and it'll just make it that much worse if he doesn't get what he's hoping for.
This is nice, isn't it?
Everywhere I look, there's great things.
Oh, there's another little slot machine here.
That's an oldie that's sort of waiting to be restored. It's just,
So it doesn't spin.
no.
You see, from my perspective, the only thing I'd want to see done in this is I'd want to see this cleaned, this glass cleaned a little,
Right.
and get it working. I wouldn't
Right.
want to touch anything else on it.
No, you might polish it up a bit.
Yeah.
So what would you sell something in that condition for?
$500.
When he quoted us 500 on the Little Red One-Armed Bandit, I mean, that's a pretty fair starting point for us. I mean, the only problem is what's it going to cost to get the guts fixed?
My partner does like red.
Yeah, I do like red.
You guys seem to really like gambling devices,
do.
don't you?
We do. Well, what we do is a gamble. So
True.
if we can throw a little action like that in there, well,
Sure.
that makes it even more interesting.
See, I'd like it better at 3.
I could relax and maybe go $450.
I knew you were doing that. I'd already prepared myself for it. That was a really good deal. Even if it doesn't work, it's just got a great visual to it. We'll have no problem selling that, and it'll look real good in the warehouse.
You are the first people who have ever bought anything from me. I've never sold anything during the whole time that I've collected. And so,
Well, let's just keep that this way. That we'll be the only guys that get to buy from you.
exclusive.
Exclusive. We're the first people that you'll ever have sold anything to. That's pretty amazing. You got an Evel Knievel lunch kit.
Yes,
Snake River Canyon. That's when you jump Snake River Canyon.
correct.
Looks like it's got the thermos in it, too. Now, why is it hiding in here?
I don't really have a place for it.
What would you need for it?
$50.
And how about 30? Leave me a little room.
Yeah.
Perfect. What's the story on the vaudeville thing?
I guess my favorite piece is my vaudeville and picture sign. That was in the basement of a building that used to be a bar, vaudeville type place.
Really?
Probably 100 years old at that time. I've had that sign for 40 years.
Steve's got a great sign. It's not a neon sign, it's lit with light bulbs behind it. It's an old vaudeville sign, likely out of a theater. Fabulous look to it. Anyone would want that in their house.
That sign would be untouchable.
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 Even for $1,000.
I wouldn't sell it for $10,000.
We were sort of speaking the same language. It's just that he says $10,000 and I say not for sale.
That's my grandchildren's room.
What about the monkey?
It's an old carnival game.
Is that for sale?
Well, actually, I have 2 of them,
You have 2?
and they're identical. One is outside. This one's in a little better condition than the one that's outside, and I'd consider selling the one outside.
On the wall is a nice old circus game. You can tell that was probably out of a Conklin show. You throw the ball in the monkey's mouth, and it makes a big booming sound. You win a prize. And you don't want to sell this one, I take it. I always like better condition than worse. We want to go home with that piece. So let's go see the one that's outside, see what condition it's in.
Perfect.
So we go out to what Steve calls the overhang, and there's a whole bunch more stuff there, a bunch of signs, but there's that monkey game there. We pull it out. Sure enough, it's not in the same condition the one inside is in. I saw something else as I was walking by.
Me too.
I saw a bunch of signs, not bad on one side, toast on the other. Sheldon and I put a little pile together. These?
No, let's hang on to those.
A lot of this stuff's just stock. Okay, we'll do the monkey first. He's a little rough, as you said. He's a little busty and the paint's all gone.
Yeah, at 150.
I'm changing gears. I don't want the one outside anymore. I'm gonna start upping the price on the one inside. See, I'd rather pay $250 for the one inside than $150 for that one.
1 1/4, and I'll keep the other one.
I don't want to pay that much for that game. $275, $100. We don't want the one outside. We want the one inside. As you can tell, I'd way rather pay for a good one.
Okay, you can have that one.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm there. He shakes my hand at $275. We'd way rather be in the better one.
Scott and I would always choose a piece that's in better condition, even if we have to pay way more for it.
The gem razor, the barbershop, the Goodyear, the ice cream.
Fishtail.
You know what? $200.
Whoa.
Done.
There you go.
That's right where I wanted to be. For $200 for the lot that we got, 6 pieces of advertising, we'll do really well on that. And Steve doesn't care about those. They were outside. Geez, you got a bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah.
Now this is a storage room.
Yeah. There's stuff everywhere, including some excess pieces behind in a storage room. And that's where Scott and I do some picking.
What's the story on the stuff in this room?
I either don't have a place for it yet, or it hasn't been restored.
Okay, so can we make a pile?
If you find something that interests you, sure.
This is like Christmas.
Nice spot. 2 Canada Dry posters, cardboard, early ones. Not in the best condition, but really quite desirable. Good images. And a cardboard tiger that's really an eye catcher.
I start grabbing a few little games. There's a detective one with a little blue gun with some darts on it. I can immediately see a couple of really old black boxes. I've seen that type of stuff before. Turn of the century French. They did all kinds of gaming devices and game boards in that type of material.
I love
These are fascinating.
So we've got the 2 French horse racing games, couple of Canada Dry placards, the little trunk, tiger, shooting gallery. I know what I have in mind.
Do you want to tell me what you have in mind?
No, I'd rather hear what you have in mind.
I have in mind $325.
Okay, well, we're not so far off. I think almost we need to...
Are you higher?
No, there's no chance of that.
Oh, you're lower.
No, but we're not so low that there could not be some middle ground. And a little gamble would be great, too. You win on monkey toss, we'll pay you $300. We win, it's $250.
And Sheldon and he are gonna go throw some balls at the monkey's mouth.
Oh,
Really close.
it's really an easy little game, really. If you have manual dexterity, if you have reactions like a cat, you can throw a ball through a little monkey's mouth, well, most times. To the victor go the spoils.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The key is, Steve's having a good time, we're having a good time, we're picking up a few good items. Hey, doesn't get any better than that.
This monkey thing is so good. I just love an old amusement thing.
Kind of reminds me of you. He never shuts his mouth. These are so good.
Yeah, these are great, aren't they?
You put on a lot of miles before you find one, and then to find 2. I love a tiger.
That's a good tiger too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could you just see that hanging as a piece of art in somebody's house? Steve, that was great. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. It was my pleasure.
We really have made a new friend, and you're gonna have to come down to our place and buy from us.
I will be down.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay. Scott and Sheldon are great guys, and I think everybody ended up happy.
Well, that was pretty good.
2 slot machines in one buy.
A bunch of little stuff we can sell.
Oh, some good signs.
Yeah.
That's a really good day.
Still a little bit nervous. There's a bunch of empty seats there. The roads are terrible. I'm just hoping the people that are here to buy. As I'm walking around the auction house, I'm seeing all the stuff it took me years and miles to buy, and I'm still feeling a little uncomfortable about letting them go. You'll remember your RCA Victor dog.
Oh, yeah. I lived with Nipper for decades.
Wabasso rabbit is so good. That was a Canadian brand Wabasso.
What were your expectations on the boat motor?
Put it this way, when I bought it at $1,400, I thought it was a steal. If that doesn't go for $2,000, I'll be very disappointed.
For me, this is not another ordinary estate sale. This is my good buddies collection. We've got people that have traveled a great distance. We've got some real eager bidders, people that know Scott and I.
My name is Rob, and I'm from Hudson, Quebec.
Hey, stranger.
Well, they've been out to Hudson 3 times now.
How's it going, guys?
They invited me out for this one, so I thought, what the heck, why not?
Cheers.
Cheers. We've got my eye on those beer tip trays. I've never seen those trays before in my life.
We came out to cherry pick Scott's collection.
It's Joe.
Joe?
Hi,
Joe. Mike.
Scott should fetch some good prices for some stuff here today.
The boat motor fountain machine. Very rare, hard to find. That's what I'm here to run the boys up on.
I like the minstrel show poster, the framed one. That's my favorite.
Auctioneering is in my blood. If I don't know what's going on today, I shouldn't be here. You're gonna be up close to me so you can describe some of the items. For both of you guys, if there's bidding off in the wings or I'm missing a bid, definitely give me a yes.
You never know what's gonna happen. Some days it's a buyer's market, some days it's a seller's market.
I think Jerry's gonna work the room a little bit too, because he knows a lot of the people that are coming here to buy, and hopefully he can sort of let them know how rare it is. This auction has pretty much everything I collected over the last 30 to 40 years, things that I love, things that I use to decorate my house. It's sort of killing me to see it go. Now I know how a father feels when he's giving his daughter away. I feel like everything was fun up to this point in time, but I'm getting a little nervous right now.
Oh, we got a good crowd.
Got this sort of sick feeling. I just don't know how it's gonna go.
For those of you who don't know, Scott and Lana have 3 kids and 2 bedrooms. And that's why these things are up at public auction. On with the bidding, ladies and gentlemen, and good luck in your bidding. Somebody say what? Lot number 126, and that is Nipper. This is the real McCoy from the 50s. Bid along.
No, earlier.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I sold it to you thinking it was from the 50s.
That's why I got such a good price.
Somebody say $300 on Nipper. 300, 200, 200 bid. He's a better Nipper than that, and all our bid is 200, 2 1/4 bid, 2.5. Fair warning at only 225, 250 anywhere. Sold him 225, 196 the buyer.
That was a way better item than the price made today. That thing should have gone for $450, $550, and the hammer dropped at less than 300. It almost killed me.
He asked me, is there anything you're sad about? And I said, yeah, Nipper. And he says, yes, I agree.
Tip trays. You're bidding on all 3 tip trays. Bid along, somebody say what? 200, thank you, sir, and 1/4. At 200, bid along, say 2 1/4. 2 1/4, would you buy them? All through and satisfied. Last call. They go to a good bar, the Chateau de Lac in Hudson, Quebec. 143 is the buyer.
You got me. I'm used to taking advantage of you.
3 years ago when they came, they ended up wearing me down and getting, better deals than they would normally have gotten.
Rob's one of our best buddies that we've met along the way. He wanted that tray, so I wasn't surprised when he was the buyer at the end of the day.
Thank you. Sold it.
I'm not an auctioneer, so I'm not the best judge of pace.
Glad you got it, sir.
Slow down! But there were a couple times where Sheldon started going bang, 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 and hit that gavel quicker than I could say, no, don't!
We've got to move some merchandise. We've got to move it fast. I can go as fast as people can bid. 122 is the boat motor dispenser, and that is new old stock.
New old stock, never been used.
That has never been used. I was with Scott when he bought it. It came in the original box. Bid along, somebody say 2,000 and start it. Well, $1,000 and started. Thank you, sir. 1,000 bid. 1,250 is bid. Had 1,250 bid along, say 1,500 bid. 15 bid, 1,750.
Rudy was playing his cards really close to the vest.
Had 1,500 bid along, say 1,750. All through and satisfied at 1,500 only. Congratulations, 180 is the buyer.
Oh, goodbye, buddy. Didn't make a ton of money off that thing, and it hurts me to see it go, but it went to a good home. I met the guy that bought it, and he's a real nice guy, Rudy.
I'm over the top. I'm going out to drink a little Coke this afternoon.
Scott, I know this is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
One of your favorite little guys. This is the Wabasso Fine Cotton's Rabbit Store Display. I hope there's some interest. Somebody say 750 and start it. 750, 600. Well, $500 and start the Wabasso Rabbit. Who wants to be first? 500. I know what my 3. Ouch, you sure know how to hurt a guy, but you put on a lot of miles to shout me out.
He lowballed me at $300.
3 bid, 350. At 350 bid, $400 now. At 4 bid, is that right, sir? 4 bid, 4.5. 4.5 bid, now the 5, and that's where we should have started. 5 on bid, 550. All through, all satisfied at 500. 550 bid, 600. 6 bid, 650. At $600 bid along, say 650. Are you sure? Fair warning at 6. 650 anywhere. Sold at 600. Goes to a good home.
In at 5 and he made me pay 6, so I'm gonna go in there and tell him he owes me $100.
We have to eat at McDonald's on the way home.
I bought that a long, long time ago, and I think I paid $175 for it. So that's a pretty good return.
Lot number 137, the cover piece of the catalog. That's how highly Scott thinks of this. This is very rare. The Calgary Brewing and Malting Company.
The reason this one's perfect is because it was used as backing for a picture in the Stampede Corral.
Really? Do you want to say anything more about it?
Just that it's killing me.
Let it fly. Somebody say what? 3,000 bid, 3,500. At 3,500 bid along, say 3,750. Now 4 to you, sir. Congratulations, sir. I know you love it. 158 is your buyer.
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's an iconic piece of Calgary advertising. This is going to be a centerpiece.
And that guy will love and cherish that for the rest of his days. The auction's over, the stuff's gone, you don't regret it, you just move on. My wife's happy, my kids are happy.
We're going to do a room shuffle, so they all have their own room. And it's going to be wonderful.
We got a little bit of money in the bank, Sheldon did a great job, and we're hitting the road to go pick it. You buy, you sell, you cry, you buy some more.
By the looks of it, it looks like they did really good here in Alberta.
Ta-da!
Oh my goodness. Roulette table? That's amazing. Oh, that one's really nice. I love anything to do with travel. Getting some trunks in here is always good. What do you think, 1880s, 1890s? I think you can get at least 200 just for this one alone. After seeing that trunk, I'm thinking that I might be having a little bit of influence on them.